I would say that there's a majority of people who don't love the life that they live. They're not truly happy, and they may say that they love their life or they're happy, but truly deep down, if we ask them, I would say that there's probably a high percentage of people that really don't. I talk with men all the time. I would say that there's a high chance that there's only a very small portion of men and people in general who really love their life. So in this video, I'm gonna take you through 8 keys so you can learn to love your life, learn to jump out of bed each morning and go, you know what, I love my life, like truly deep down, fully love your life. So let's go through the 8 keys to creating a badass life that you will love to live. Number 1, don't work harder, work smarter. You hear this all the time, but what does it really actually mean? Well, firstly, we have to understand that our thoughts and our beliefs create our reality. So we can be working super hard, but if we don't believe it's gonna happen, then we're just pushing shit up the hill the whole time. You know, like if you are in a relationship, right, but you're like, I don't feel good enough for this person. You could be doing all of these things for her, like trying to do all these things, and you're still not gonna feel good enough. Whereas if we will work to work smarter in that, we would then work on ourselves and fix that not feeling good enough belief. And then we wouldn't have to work as hard because we would just radiate that I'm good enough for you. In this sense, we need to understand that just doing more things isn't always the best, especially when it comes to just getting more and more reps in. How productive you are in that time is not going to be anywhere as good as if you just go hard for this certain amount of time, right? In the business right now, for me, I've had to jump back on the sales and calling people all the time. And I know that if I just try and call all day, by the end of the day, my energy when I want to talk to people, it's off. And so what I do is I'm like, rather than just trying to go for this long period of time, I break it down. I'm like, for the next half an hour, I'm just gonna have high energy, go hard. Then I'll have a little break, and then I'll go again. And then I'll have a little break and go again. Because I know that that small little bit, the energy that I'm bringing off, the thoughts, the beliefs, and the things that I'm like, yeah, I wanna talk to people, I wanna help people. I know that doing that in that small amount of time is going to be much better than me spending 2 hours on the phone going, I hope this person picks up. Because I know how the world works. I know how reality works. I know how our mind emits signals, right? So understand that you have to work smarter, not harder. Super important. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, this seems like a lot of work, it seems hard, I'm not built like this. Bullshit. That's just a bullshit story you're telling yourself. You've got to train. You can either train or you can play, and there's no in between. Now, we train men like you every single day. Men who want to take their life to the next level. Men who want to recreate themselves. Men who want to step up as the leader of their family, of their businesses, of their communities, of their companies. And so if you resonate with any of this, down below, what you're going to see is a description of this YouTube video. And inside of that, there's going to be a link. Click on that link, enter your name, enter your phone number, enter your email address, and my team will personally reach out to you, showing you the 4 steps and the 4 stages that can help you get to where you want to be. So if you're serious about recreating your life, if you're serious about stepping up into the man that you know that you can be, managing your life, managing everyone else's life because you manage your own, then let's do it. I'd love to see you on the inside. All right, number 2. Think like you are rich, but spend like you are broke. So many people, and even to this day, they go out and they buy this car on finance, and they buy, nothing wrong with buying a car on finance, but they want to buy all these things to make themselves look good. And that's all it is. We need to really delay instant gratification. It is one of the most important skills that you can build, delaying instant gratification. Now, I've talked about it before on a different video about discipline and delaying instant gratification, but you really want to be able to just live below your means until you start creating more and more wealth for yourself. I heard a thing with Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, why they built so much wealth. And the reason was, when they were younger, they were still buying the same things and they were doing the same trades as everyone else. But the difference was, instead of going and spending the money, they then put it back in investments and invested in themselves. And so while their friends, while they were younger, were buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all this, they were reinvesting their money. And Warren Buffett was driving a 15-year-old pickup truck. And so he just kept reinvesting his money and now he's worth billions. So delay that gratification. Say no today for something greater in the future, right? You're saying no to something now to say yes to something in the future that's much more beneficial for you. If you just live below your means for 5 years, even 10 years, and accumulate cash, stack it, put it into investments, in 10, 20, 30, 40 years time, you are going to be so well off than someone who bought a car or some kind of accessory or something to make themselves feel good. Number 3, don't ruminate on your past. This is a key one. People do this consciously or unconsciously. You've got to work through your baggage. You've got to work through your shit, right? You know, it's really important to understand this because our unconscious mind just takes the things from the past and projects them onto the future. And we create our reality. And so if you're feeling the same things and thinking the same things as you did yesterday, tomorrow's gonna be the same. And if you're feeling and thinking something different today, then you're creating tomorrow with those thoughts and those feelings. And so if we are unconsciously replaying and have all this baggage, I'm not good enough, or there's other bits and pieces, or even emotional issues, or whatever it might be, unconscious program that we're not even aware of, we're carrying that baggage in, and that's creating a predictable future. We want to live in the unknown. I want my future to be so unknown that it's better than ever. If we want certainty, then our future is going to be certain and we're not going to achieve the things that we want. You're not going to love the life that you live. So it's really important to clear out the baggage. Come to one of our events, come to one of our programs. I'll show you exactly how. There'll be a link down the bottom you can join. So make sure, work through that, because I want you to also think too, if you didn't have those things, those issues, those problems, those challenges that you think you may have, if you didn't have them, what would be possible for you? And if you can answer that question and go, wow, like I couldn't even imagine it, then I highly recommend doing something and working through that baggage and letting it go. You don't need that anymore. All right, number 4, stay sober. This is very, 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 very important. You know, of course, when I was younger, I used to party, I used to go out, I used to do all sorts of things. But now when I'm on this side, it's so much better. You know, nothing good happens after 9 p.m. And I've noticed that, you know, I'm clearer. I have so much more drive, so much more energy. I feel like I don't need to escape. I'm so much happier in my life. And it's because instead of spending that time drinking and numbing and trying to escape reality, and using that to go backwards, I'm actually shifting that, use it for things that I want to move forward and creating my life and living a life that you want to live. Now, if you want to go out and have drinks, cool, that's cool, you can do that. However, I highly recommend, if you really want to live a life that you enjoy, that you really, really love, then I would recommend at least staying off it for a little bit. And hey, you know, you might be able to go and have 1 or 2 if you go for dinner every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you wish. But the word alcohol comes from an Arabic word, al-kul, which means body eating spirit. Think about that for a second. So every time you drink alcohol, essentially you are eating your spirit. Now I can see some things, I can feel some things, and I know now when I see people who are drunk, who are taking drugs, I can see that their spirit is not with them. Their spirit is not in their body. It's somewhere else at that time. So it's very, very important to limit and try and stay off that as much as possible if you really want to love the life that you live. Now in that time, we may think that we're having lots of fun while we're drinking. A lot of people think that. But really ask yourself, like really, are you really having that much fun? And also, do you need that to have fun? If you need that to have fun, then there's something else going on. Go back to the step before. What's the baggage you need to clear out? Because if you can't have fun without taking drugs or drinking or doing those things, then there's something else going on. All right, number 5, think big and lead by inspiring people. People who play small never inspire anyone. If your boss is just like, oh, you go do that, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna, go fishing, or I'm gonna just sit here on my coffee, and you're out there working, how much do you feel you're going to want to actually do for this guy? Probably not. Whereas if this guy was out on the front and he's leading and he's like, this is the vision for the business, this is where we're going, this is, you're all valued in this, and they put a vision in for you, and they value you, and they think big, and they want to bring everyone along with them, and they inspire you, you're going to put in so much more effort. So it's the same in your life. Think about it like this too. As a man, you are the leader of your family. Don't take this out of context, right? But you are the leader of the family. That's what a man does. And so by you leading, you're like, we're going this way. and you're thinking big and you're like, we're going this way as a family. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't have any input and it's a dictatorship. I'm not saying that. Don't take this out of context. But what I'm saying is you lead, right? You lead by example. Get up earlier, work out, meditate, read, work harder on yourself, invest in yourself, work on your relationship. Be the father and the man that you want your kids to be. Give them a target. Give them something to look up to. You know, so many boys don't look up to their father. How would it feel if you were at school and your son, when they asked, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, if your son said, I want to be like my father, wouldn't that be just the ultimate, right? I don't have kids that I know of right now, but when I do, that is my goal for my son, to want to be me when I'm older. Not exactly like me, but I want him to look up to me and to model me and to be like, you know, I admire him, he inspires me. And so you can do that with your family too. And the respect that you will get is massive. Now, it's not just in your family, it's in your workplace, it's in everything else as well. So remember, think big and lead by inspiring, not dictating. Number 6, look in the mirror to find your problems. Don't blame anyone else. Everything's a creation of ourselves. We've created our reality, so if we want to find the solution, we've got to look at ourselves. It's just the way it is. As soon as we try and blame someone else or say this person did this, or it's because of this, or it's because of this, we are playing the role of a victim and we can't fix that. We need to go, okay, how have I created this? What have I done? What's going on in me that's caused this to happen? So you really need to do that. And by saying, maybe I don't know enough, maybe I'm not good enough right now, maybe that is much better than saying this person did this. You know, for example, in business, rather than saying, oh, the leads are shit, say, maybe I'm not good enough yet to make these deals, to make these sales yet. Maybe my sales skills aren't good enough. Maybe if you are in a relationship and you are struggling to find a partner, maybe you go back and say, well, you know, I can't find any good partners out there. Maybe you come back and say, maybe I'm not good enough at attracting the partner of my dreams just yet. Maybe I'm not to the level that I want to be able to attract a person at that level. So think about it in that sense. Number 7, don't compare your journey. Go all in on you. Comparison is the enemy of joy. Stay consistent. You know, don't compare your level 1 to someone else's level 5. Everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has different DNA, has come from a different background. 2 people can be in the exact same spot in life, the same age, the same situations, but their past could be different. So don't compare that journey to anyone else. The only person you really should be comparing is someone who you were yesterday. That's it. Comparison is the enemy of joy, and don't compare yourself to someone else, especially don't compare yourself to anyone on Instagram. And lastly, number 8, don't try and do this all on your own. Now, this is one thing that I wish I learned earlier. For 6 years, probably even longer, I tried to do things on my own. I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to go into any programs or courses or do anything other than online courses, because I didn't necessarily have to talk to anyone or see anyone, and I could just click a link and buy it. But once I dove into and started doing like proper in-person events and courses and those things, my life changed dramatically. And I know from the guys who come into our programs that they all go, man, I wish I found this 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever it was. So don't wait. Don't feel like you need to be broken to get help. Don't feel like you have to try and do it on your own. You think, oh, if I can't do it on my own, then it's not lasting. I should be able to do it on my own. That's just a story. If you want, the fastest way to get from here to here is to find someone who's been here, who's been there, get them to help you. That's the fastest and the quickest way. Find the expert who's been there and done that. It's simple. You know, why try and figure it out for yourself when you can have someone help you? You're doing the work either way. To get from here to here, you have to do the work. No one can drag you along. So you're doing the work anyway. You just have more guidance to get there. If you implement these 8 things into your life, you're going to start creating a life that you love to live. And it may take 12 months. Hey, 12 months out of the average age, say 80, let's just say 70, even still, it's a small period of time. So commit, do these things, and in 12 months time, you wake up and you go, my life is amazing if you do these things. So if you like this video, comment, like it, subscribe, share it to anyone that you feel like you may want to share it with. Comment down below what your biggest takeaway is, what the biggest one that hit home for you is, so I know. and I'll get back to you and we'll answer every single one. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. You made it to the end of the video and you are one of the top 1%ers who get to this point. Now, if you're sick and tired of not growing to the level that you want, if you're sick and tired of being the same spot that you were 12 months ago, if you're like, you know what, I've got so much more to offer, but I don't really know how to get there, then if that is you, down below, book in your call with one of my team. Just enter your phone, enter your email, and enter your number. And hey, look, we can't reach you if you enter details that are wrong. So enter your right details. We'll be able to reach out to you. We'll show you the 4 stages that we take men through that's going to completely rip you out of your current situation and push you in a new direction that where you want to go. I will push you as hard as I can to get that outcome for you, because I know how much the life is good on the other side of it when we get out of the shit, when we get onto where we want to go. So click the button and I'll see you on the other side.